Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today, starting over. I've started fresh with a brand new account. A lot of you guys have been sick of seeing the same legendary arena, and I've gotten to Arena 4, which is P.E.K.K.A Playhouse. I just arrived here, and I've been using the same deck as you saw in the intro, and it's been working very, very well for me. In fact, I am officially 38 2-1. So 38 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie so far, and the 2 losses were against really higher level players. And it's with this deck that's just so very good and effective. I'm going to show you a few matches today. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and play a live match as well. And this is the deck right here, okay? It's a very basic deck, but it's very, very effective in my opinion. The opinion of yours truly, it is the best deck in the game for Arena 3 for Barbarian Bowl Arena. In fact, I've been easily beating level 6s and level 7s as a level 5 with this deck, and let's go ahead and jump right into it, talk about all the cards and their utility in the deck. So we have Goblins. Goblins, obviously a great defensive unit, and we could pile them on behind the Giant offensively too for our big pushes. The Baby Dragon is awesome splash damage from the air. It's going to force them to have archers or spear goblins or musketeers, something that can take down that air unit, and it's great for defeating low hit point ground units. And it's a great counter to barbarians too, to buy you some extra time while doing damage to all of them, and it's a great combo with the Giant, as you're going to see in the replays below. It's a tanky unit and it's great. So splash damage, we also have the Bomber, a ground unit splash damage, also great against barbarians, which of course you have to be careful of in the Barbarian Bowl Arena. You have arrows to take out those minion hordes, which you're going to need in Barbarian Bowl Arena and especially in P.E.K.K.A Playhouse. A lot of people use minion horde. You're going to have minions, which is a great little small combo with the Giant, and the minions are also great defensively in a pinch, and they do a lot of DPS. You have the Giant, which is your main tank. You have the Musketeer, which is your main point damage DPS, meaning not splash damage, but can take down opposing Giants and do a decent amount of damage with each shot. And you have the Cannon, which is going to be your main offensive weapon, especially to stay back and hold down the fort when you do your big pushes with the Giant in the opposite lane. The Cannon will buy you some time defensively on the other side of the map. So guys, let's go ahead and hop into some replays and we'll see this deck in action. Now, with these replays, I want to make sure they're against decks that are very popular against this trophy range and against people with higher level cards and experience than I do. So this first deck is going to be against a spawner deck that includes the Prince, and it's going to be a popular deck combination. He has both of the huts, he has the Baby Dragon, he has the Prince, and he has the Barbarians, and those are the main cards in his deck, and you're going to see how we defend here. He opens up with the Prince, which is pretty difficult to defend considering my starting hand, but I quickly play the Bomber card to distract the Prince, and then I get those Goblins down on the board immediately. Goblins are an absolutely fantastic counter against a Prince. You can use Goblins, and as long as the Prince is in range of your tower, the tower and the Goblins will take him down. You can see I'm having to rely on my minions over here to take down those Barbarians, and they do get a few shots on my right tower, but I'm not too worried about it. He plays a minion horde right at the halfway mark. I go ahead and arrow them down, and you can see at this point in the match, he's coming at me pretty aggressively, and that's actually a mistake on his end, especially with a spawner deck. With a spawner deck, you want to play things really, really slow and really try to capitalize on the last minute of a match, but he's not doing that. He's playing pretty aggressively, and you can see he's always running very low on elixir, so I'm trying to take note of that as the attacker, and you can see I waited till I was full elixir, and then I dropped down one of my main combos, which is the Giant and the Baby Dragon. You can see the Prince is targeting the Giant, and the Giant's eating up all that damage from the crown tower as well as the Prince, and now my Baby Dragon is going to be able to get to that tower, and I plop some minions down behind it to do some extra damage and distract that opposing dragon. And if you'll take note right now, guys, we both have the same amount of elixir, so that is awesome for us, and you can see I go ahead and place a cannon right now to just help defend against this onslaught of spear goblins. They can really add up with their spears, and my right tower is already a little bit low on hit points, so I want to make sure I protect that. Now he's getting his spawners out, so now he has the Barbarian hut and the Spear Goblin hut up in the upper right corner of the map. So because I'm playing somebody with a higher level than I am and higher level cards than I do, I want to be very careful how I use my elixir. So I'm full elixir right now. I play my giant. I didn't even need to play those arrows. That was really my one mistake of the game, but it's not going to be the end of the world. I have my baby dragon, my giant, and my musketeer and bomber all coming behind them. That's going to be a very, very strong push. Very difficult for him to defend. He drops the prince, but as soon as I see the prince go down, I make sure I drop my goblins. Then he plays his baby dragon, and I know I have things under control over there in the right lane at this point, especially because the barbarian hut is very low on health. He drops another spear goblin hut, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. This is what I was talking about earlier. I'm defending with my cannon, and I'm going to put the bomber, some splash damage, behind the cannon. Now, if you bring your attention to the left lane, I was able to get another strong combo of the giant and the baby dragon in the left lane, and that's what it's all about. I win the match, and it's because I defended well and I attacked at the same time. That's how you can use that cannon as a defensive distraction while you mount your big push in the opposite lane. And as you saw there, I used my bomber to help with the splash damage. A 3-cost bomber took down barbarians and much more there, some spear goblins. And anyway, let's go into the next match here. This time the guy's gonna play a giant skeleton and a witch card. Now you'll note that I am in P.E.K.K.A. Playhouse, but that's because I was just really high in trophies. I was actually this is all Arena 3 footage. I have not played one match yet on this account in actual P.E.K.K.A. Playhouse as the home player. So you can see I'm using a cannon early on again to distract that giant skeleton. Obviously, when you're going against the giant skeleton, you need to distract him to the center of the map, or you can distract him back towards the halfway mark of the map. And you can see the defender now is scrambling because I turned my defense into a successful offense here in terms of the baby dragon doing a little bit of air tanking for that musketeer, and I was able to get a few hits off that tower. Now I'm going to keep it real with you guys here. I have no idea why I played that bomber in the right hand lane just now. That was a very bad play. You never want to do that. You never want to put a low hit point unit down on the board when you have nothing to protect him, especially when you're low on elixir. Why would I do that? Maybe it was a misclick. You know what? Actually, it was a misclick. My dog was kissing me, and that's what I blame the bomber on. And that's the honest to God truth, I swear, now that I think back to it. Anyway, let's go back to the match. Awful play by me, but let's go ahead and recoup here. You can see I waited till my elixir was full. I placed the musketeer way back in the back of the map, and now I'm going to go ahead and put some minions on that cannon because obviously the cannon can't target the minions, and now I have a nice little push going again with the bomber, the musketeer, the minions all behind that giant, soaking up all that damage by the witch, the tower, and those spear goblins coming from the center of the map, and I'm going to take down that tower very easily. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That is the combo that really drives this deck offensively. It is so hard to stop a giant coming at you, and behind the giant, minions, musketeer, and a bomber. That is a lethal combination because no matter what you put as the defender, I guess the only card he could have used, and obviously he didn't have it up, is the giant skeleton because he would have dropped that bomb and do that AoE damage. My cannon doesn't distract this prince here, so this is the best offense he gets going over here. And you can see right where I placed that bomber. That's very important to take note of. If you notice anything throughout these matches defensively, note to how you can lure and drag troops towards the center of the map, even if it's not a giant skeleton with that lethal bomb that he carries. Luring a troop to the center of the map like I did with that bomber there, it will basically hand him off to the next unit, which in this case happens to be the cannon, and then the target will be in range of both of my towers, and I'll be doing double defensive DPS to that unit, and more beneficially, he won't be hammering away on my crown tower. Instead, he'll be doing a dance in the center of my map. So let's go ahead and do a live match here after that 3-crown victory. Hopefully we'll play another level 7 who's a little bit, because I like being the underdog here because it shows you that these decks really work. And you can see this is my very first match in P.E.K.K.A. Playhouse on this account. By the way, guys, I want to hear what you think of this account. Are you happy that I've done this? Do you want to see more videos off of this account? Do you want to see more videos off the Legendary Arena? I'm at around 3,500 cups, 3,600 cups rather, with my main account right now. So let me know what you prefer to see, and I'll make sure I bring that to you more often. Or if you want it 50-50, just let me know. I definitely want to go in the direction that you guys want me to go here with this account. So you can see here I'm mounting a defense again. Always consider, especially if you're the lower level here, always consider going defense before offense. So if you have to even draw out a stalemate where you're at 10 elixir and they're at 10 elixir, if you have the lower level cards, you're a lower level player, always let them make the first move. What's the worst case scenario? You're going to get down to 0 seconds left on the clock and it's going to be a draw against somebody who's a higher level than you. So obviously I'm not advocating you really do that, but hey, always let them make the first move. That's what I say. So anyway, you're going to go ahead and see how I counter this charging prince here. Very easy. I drop some goblins in the center of the map. The prince's charge takes out my first goblin, but it ties him up long enough where I'm able to go ahead and take him down and turn this into a nice successful offense again. Now this guy has the bomber tower, a card that I don't have yet on this account, and it makes things a little bit more difficult, but luckily our deck is versatile enough where we can easily combat that bomber tower, especially because we have a lot of options. We have a lot of high hit point units such as the Musketeer and the baby dragon and the giant. So we're going to go ahead and wait till that bomber tower goes away, and now we're going to start thinking about offense here. So again, my combo here, as you can see, the cards in my hand are giant, bomber, musketeers. So my thought process is going to play the bomber or the musketeer way in back of my tower, buy me some time. That was a very ill-advised fireball on his part. You never want to throw a fireball at just a crown tower. You want to make sure you take out at least a 3 elixir unit troop along with that bomb tower damage if you're going to use a fireball like that. So now I'm going to pile on. He plays the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the bomb tower is locked onto my giant. I'm going to go ahead and use the arrows. Didn't need to. I'll be honest with you guys, not used to using the baby dragon this often, and I'm using the arrows when I see the minion horde, but you don't need arrows when you have the baby dragon. That was another misplay by yours truly, but hey, we're going to still make it happen here. So we took down the left tower. That was good. Let's go ahead and mount another offense here in the right-hand lane. What do you say? So Musketeer's on the board. We have the bomber on the board. Let's play the giant right now. This is a little trick for you. Play the giant once you get the first tower down. Play the giant or the baby dragon in the center of the map. It's going to show that he's going to target onto the king tower, but he will not. He will actually target the remaining tower. So that's why you can use that offense in combination of your lane offense where I had the Musketeers and do some serious damage by 2 angles to that remaining tower. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in and spending a little bit of your day with me. Again, I want your feedback. I will read all the comments. Won't have time to respond to all of them, but certainly I really want to hear where you want the direction of this account to go. And thanks again for watching so much, guys. As always, take care.
We don't play for cash. We just play for the glory and the crash of the ash.